Mr. Eminem, I've always admired him, and to have him do something like that was pretty painful as an artist to another artist.
That was what I was told by Irving, that she gave them an ultimatum: either Lindsay goes or I go.
Axl took over the band and reformed it under Guns N' Roses under his direction, and I chose not to join that configuration. Simple as that.
If you're gonna act like you a gangster or a G or the king of New York, I'm expect that. And when you don't come through, then I'm gonna crush your empire.
In music, beef never just cools off, it explodes. And after that, forget about putting those artists in the same room. Over the years, legends have come right out and said who they'll never collaborate with again. Some reasons are fair, others, let's be honest, they're flat out ridiculous. Like Prince. He refused to team up with Michael Jackson on Bad because of one lyric.
The first line of that song is "Your is mine." Now I said, who gonna sing that to whom?
And sometimes, the reasons cut deep. Take Michael Jackson and Eminem. Jackson vowed he'd never work with them after being mocked in the Just Lose It video.
I've never met Mr. Eminem, and to have him, I've always admired him, and to have him do something like that was pretty painful as an artist to another artist. And it's sad because, well, I think what Stevie Wonder said is true. And I just don't want to say too much more than that. But he should be ashamed of himself, what he's doing.
That parody came in 2004, right when Jackson was at his most vulnerable. Eminem clowned his looks, mocked his Pepsi accident, and even hinted at the allegations hanging over him. Jackson, who rarely called out other artists, broke his silence and admitted the video hurt, especially because he'd admired him before that.
I've been an artist most of my life doing what I do, and I've never attacked another fellow artist. Great artists don't do that. You don't have to do that.
Jackson's response said it all. To him, real artists build each other up, not tear each other down. Eminem crossed that line, and for Michael, that door was shut forever.
Yeah, that wasn't intentional, but I'm just happy that Michael Jackson has heard of me, you know? So
I was thinking that too. Like, that's the kind of cool side of it.
The fact that he's heard of me is that does me enough. But like the personal things, that was not planned. It was making no personal judgment on Michael Jackson.
Eminem tried to brush it off, saying the diss wasn't personal and that he was just happy Michael even knew who he was. But next to Jackson's genuine pain, the excuse fell flat. The feud never ended, and Jackson passed away in 2009 without reconciliation. And if that wasn't enough, Eminem found himself in another war that refused to die, this time with Mariah Carey. The whole thing centered on whether the two ever actually dated. Mariah came in swinging.
Nothing. Look, I talked to him, I have spoken to him a few times, whatever, but in terms of me having like an intimate relationship with, men, I can name them all on one hand, and he ain't on the hand.
Mariah's denial was icy. Not only did she reject Eminem's claim that they dated, she practically laughed at the idea.
The Mariah thing, yeah, that's true.
Eminem fired back, insisting it was real. What followed was a full-on he said, she said battle, played out through diss tracks. Mariah dropped Obsessed, mocking him with a music video where she dressed up as M himself. M went nuclear, playing what he claimed were Mariah's voicemails during live shows. Whether real or not, it was brutal.
I told you to stop following me every city we go. It's over between us. Remember you said there was never anything between us? Remember you said on VH1 or MTV or whatever it was that there was never anything between us, and you never flew just from my house at 5 o'clock in the morning and passed out on my mother's kitchen floor?
What are you talking about?
You know what the I'm talking about.
I know you got a new wife.
Not a new wife, it's the same girl I've been with. I'm trying to make better at home. I'm trying to get my family back together. You're up right now.
But years later, producer Damien Demitza Young claimed the real spark was something way pettier. He said he tried setting up a call about Mariah appearing in 8 Mile, but Eminem's first words didn't exactly land.
And he's like, no, I genuinely want her in the movie. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I get her on three-way, put him on the phone, and the first thing out of his mouth is, I want you to play my mother.
She did not like that.
As Young tells it, M asked Mariah to play his mom. She was only 4 years older than him, so the comment hit like an insult, and it lit the fuse that started everything.
So like we were at the Glitter thing in New York for Glitter, and this is where she's really starting to not sleep, not eat, did the TRL thing, you know what I mean, where she took off her clothes and all of this, and I'm like, look, this is all bad, and we're flying from New York to LA, and she's like, hey, we're gonna stop off in Detroit, and I said, we? And so the next thing I know, we're at Eminem's house, in Detroit, and they disappear. You know what I mean?
Young's revelation that Mariah was chasing Eminem after their first meeting added another twist to an already messy feud. What started as a professional slight turned into personal pursuit, then public warfare. And it showed how easy respect can turn to resentment when egos collide. Some splits cut even deeper, when artists who once felt like family turn into enemies. That's exactly what happened between Kid Cudi and Kanye West.
There's no coming back from that, man. He said some things that there's just no coming back from. The comments that he's had about Virgil Abloh, you know, are just some of the most evil, vile, disturbing up things I've heard. Every time he took a dig at Virgil, it just made me super angry. Yeah. Virgil was an angel to everyone. There's no coming back from that, man. Like, I'm done with you, you know? And it breaks my heart. Yeah. Because I loved Kanye, you know? I really loved him. He was part of my life changing. And at some point, he was a really good friend. But the man that he has become, I just don't know that guy anymore. I don't know him. I don't know that version of him. And it's really heartbreaking.
Kid Cudi's split with Kanye shows what happens when a mentor turns into an enemy. Their friendship spanned nearly 20 years and even gave us the Kids See Ghosts album. But it all collapsed when Kanye trashed their late friend Virgil Abloh, saying Virgil stole his dream job at Louis Vuitton and even joking about using the bathroom on his grave. For Cudi, who called Virgil an angel to everyone, that was the line you don't cross. The breaking point often comes when artists realize that loyalty only flows one direction. For Pusha T, another longtime Kanye collaborator, the final straw wasn't creative differences, but a fundamental betrayal of friendship principles.
Well, I just felt like I can just remember times. I remember Atlanta, you know, and everybody just being
Donda era.
What was that album?
Donda.
Okay, so yeah, I would think Atlanta. Atlanta was a tough time, I feel like, just, you know, I mean, you know, I have an opinion, man, and I speak my opinion, and I feel like when I speak my opinion and it doesn't match, you know, I think we kind of fell out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, I'm never not gonna speak my opinion, so it's like, this ain't gonna work.
Pusha T said the cracks showed during the Donda era. Kanye's behavior was all over the place, and Pusha wasn't about to bite his tongue. But the real break came when he realized Kanye kept standing next to people who openly dissed him, even after Pusha had defended Kanye through scandals and meltdowns. That betrayal was too much, and the friendship was done. Sometimes, though, the end isn't just about loyalty. Sometimes it's sudden, violent, and changes music forever. That's exactly what happened with Tupac and Biggie, hip-hop's greatest tragedy.
Biggie is 3 times bigger than me, and everybody's sympathizing with him. They acting like I'm bullying him. 3 times bigger than me, and I'm asking this to have a fight. I possess his soul.
Tupac's words showed just how personal the feud had become. This wasn't about records anymore. He saw it as psychological warfare. What made it sting even more was that their story had started as mentorship. Pac put Biggie on, brought him to shows, and gave him his first shine.
That's what Biggie did. Listen to his, I was there, got trained, he used to be under me like my lieutenant. I used to come in New York, I used to do shows and let them come on before I did keep your head up and get around. Because nobody knew that in New York.
So when Pac felt Biggie had turned against him, it wasn't just business, it was betrayal. The breaking point came in 1994, when Pac was shot 5 times in the lobby of Quad Studios. Biggie and Puff were upstairs recording that night, and even though they later showed concern, Pac was convinced they knew more than they let on.
But when he died, I was just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It kind of took me by. I mean, even though we was going through our drama, I would never wish death on nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't no coming back from that.
Biggie's reaction to Pac's death stripped away the bravado. For all the anger and suspicion, he admitted he never wished death on him. But by then, it was too late. The feud that started as friendship ended as tragedy, with no chance of peace.
He wasn't even on Death Row Records. This is the crazy part. There go Biggie right there.
And what year was this? 93.
He wasn't even on Death Row Records. He was just my homeboy that came through to f with me, and he brought Cuz with him. See, now Biggie on the mic. There go Warren G right there. Technique.
He had an explosive
He on the West Coast.
style.
This is in LA.
How good is his style?
He rapping on Warren G beat.
Snoop Dogg remembers the early days, Pac bringing Biggie to rock the West Coast, trading verses like brothers. It was hip-hop at its purest, before the paranoia, before the labels, before the bullets.
When did it go sideways?
Once Pac got shot. when he got shot, he felt like they did it, but...
And this was when he got shot in New York.
Yeah.
Before he got shot in Vegas.
There you go, right there.
Yeah.
And now...
So he felt like someone from the West Coast was involved.
No.
Or from the
like,
East Coast,
yes,
rather. Excuse me.
Yes. And later information came out that the people that he thought did it had nothing to do with it.
So by him accusing people of it, it kind of set things off.
And then by him being bailed out by Death Row Records, and Death Row Records adding more gasoline to the fire, and him being a part of the most gangsterous label in the world that his opposition didn't want no issues with.
Right.
It only egged it on as opposed to, let's find a resolution. No, let's keep making it more of a problem.
Looking back, Snoop admits paranoia and business interests turned sparks into a wildfire. Death Row Records didn't calm things down, they poured gasoline on it because beef sold records. Peace never had a chance. And just like that, two legends who once built each other up became rivals who could never work together again. Family bonds can be just as destructive as any professional relationship, especially when millions of dollars and global fame are involved. The Gallagher brothers of Oasis proved that blood relations mean nothing when egos and resentment reach critical mass.
It kind of all started to unravel, if I'm being honest, when he started his clothing label, and he demanded that in the Oasis tour program that he be allowed to advertise it, which I was against, because I didn't think that it was right for him to be flogging his gear to our fans, and there was a massive row about that, and it kind of went back and forward for a bit, as I remember it, and in the end I said, all right, well, if you want to advertise in the program, how much?
According to Noel, it started small, Liam pushing to advertise his clothing line in the Oasis tour program, but what began as petty arguments spiraled into full-blown chaos, leading to a violent backstage clash.
He came back with a guitar and started wielding it like an axe, and I'm not kidding, and I make light of it because it's kind of, you know, it's kind of what I do, but it was just it's a real unnecessary violent act, and he's swinging this guitar around, and he kind of, you know, he nearly took my face off with it.
That was the moment Noel knew it was over.
We were all involved in it and nobody was saying anything. So I was like, you know what, I'm f***ing out of here.
After 18 years, Noel walked away for good because no amount of fame was worth having his own brother swing a guitar at his head. Oasis wasn't just broken up. The Gallaghers made sure they'd never share a stage again. Some feuds take years to finally boil over. Put two strong personalities with too much history in the same band, and the crash is inevitable. Just ask Stevie Nicks, who gave Fleetwood Mac the ultimate Sophie's choice when she decided she was done with Lindsey Buckingham for good.
That was what I was told by Irving, that she gave them an ultimatum, either Lindsey goes or I go.
Yeah.
And it would be like something as absurd as Mick Jagger saying either Keith goes or I go, you know, well, I guess we need the singer.
That all went down in 2018 when Stevie Nicks finally snapped at Lindsey Buckingham, which is wild because Fleetwood Mac had already survived some of the messiest drama in music. The breaking point came at the MusiCares Gala honoring the band. According to Buckingham, it was the little things that pushed Stevie over the edge, his smirking during her speech, dragging out the intro to Rhiannon, and even tossing his jacket toward her. 2 days later, their manager, Irving Azoff, called with Stevie's ultimatum.
My relationship with Stevie is fragmented.
Yeah.
I think there's still a lot of love there, but you know, you have to begin with the fact that in order to get through those early days, it was kind of an exercise in compartmentalization for everyone emotionally.
The word fragmented sums up decades of drama. Buckingham and Nicks had been everything to each other. Romantic partners, collaborators, and eventually bitter exes who still had to make music side by side. Their story started back in the late 60s when they met as high school students in California and later formed the duo Buckingham-Nicks. Their 1973 album tanked, but everything changed when Mick Fleetwood invited them to join Fleetwood Mac. That move launched their careers and set the stage for years of chaos.
I think, you know, sometimes she might find it difficult that I was lucky enough to find my soulmate late in life and got married and had my first child when I was 48 and have 3 beautiful children, and that was something she never did.
Buckingham really went there, suggesting Stevie resented him for settling down while she stayed focused on her career. Stevie clapped back, calling it revisionist history, and said she walked away from a toxic situation. But as wild as Fleetwood Mac got, it still can't top the Beatles. Behind the polished image of the lovable lads from Liverpool, the band was crumbling from the inside, and for years, working together again wasn't even on the table.
I know. Who broke it up?
John.
John did.
Yeah.
And he tried to pin it all on you.
No, I don't think anyone tried to pin it on it. It just came out that way. That's a long story. But there was a meeting where John came in and said, hey, guys, I'm leaving the group.
Right, he was with Yoko.
He'd found Yoko, and John loved strong women.
Paul McCartney said it plain. John Lennon was the one who walked into a meeting and said he was done. For years, Paul carried the blame for ending the Beatles. But here, he set the record straight. John had found a new life with Yoko, and that's what started the dominoes falling. The truth is, the breakup had been brewing for years. Brian Epstein's death in 1967 left the band without a steady hand to keep the peace. Business fights over management only made things worse. By September 1969, Lennon told the others he wanted a divorce from the group, and that's when the music itself turned into diss tracks.
We were writing songs at each other.
Yes.
Like weaponizing songs.
He's Too Many People and Lennon's How Do You Sleep weren't just songs, they were direct shots fired at each other. While the Beatles managed to stay civil later on, other legendary partnerships went straight to war. Pink Floyd's David Gilmour and Roger Waters have spent decades making it clear they'll never share the same stage again. For Gilmour, the reason was simple. He couldn't stand the kind of music Roger was making.
I don't like it very much. The way I wanted to do it would have been a much better way of doing it. I think a lot of the music just isn't up to standard myself. I think there's 3 good songs on it, and I think the rest is rather weak. I find its tone a little too complaining.
Gilmour basically called most of Roger's songs weak and whiny. When you're tearing down your bandmates' music like that, there's no coming back. By the final cut in 1983, Waters had turned Pink Floyd into his personal project, treating the others like session players. 2 years later, he tried to dissolve the band completely. Some artists outgrow the very dynamics that once made them successful, and when those dynamics start to suffocate you, walking away can feel like the only option. That's exactly what Zayn Malik did with One Direction.
So I wanted to be the first to go and do my own thing. That was the reason. And then there was obviously underlying issues like within our friendships too. We'd been together every day for 5 years and we got sick of each other, if we're being completely honest. So we were close, you know, we'd done crazy things with each other, and that nobody else in the world will ever understand or have them experiences that we've shared with each other.
Zayn's honesty cut through all the PR spin. After 5 years together every single day, they were just sick of each other. His departure in 2015, mid-world tour, was first blamed on stress, but later interviews revealed the truth. He saw the end coming and wanted to be the first to break free, both personally and creatively. But not all splits are about burnout. Some are about 2 megastars who simply couldn't coexist. That was the case with Michael Jackson and Prince, a rivalry that went way beyond music and became a clash of personalities, egos, and values.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like,
did you say meanie?
He's a meanie. I'm like, no. He's really nice, Mike. He's like, no, you don't understand. One time,
that you gotta talk to get him going, right? Sorry.
I'm like, no, he's really nice, man. I like, no, you don't understand, Will. One time he tried to run me and my mama over with a car.
The childlike language of calling someone a meanie masks deeper psychological wounds. When 2 titans of music can't share the same space without conflict, it reveals how personal these professional rivalries can become. Will.i.am's account of bringing Michael Jackson to see Prince perform in Vegas illustrates the deep-seated animosity that prevented any collaboration between the 2 legends.
Not to me, no. Well, you know, that Wesley Snipes character, that would have been me. All right, now you run that video in your mind. The first line of that song is "Your is mine." Now I said, who gonna sing that to whom?
Prince's dismissal of the bad collaboration reveals an artist so protective of his image that he couldn't even entertain certain creative concepts. And that's the thing. Sometimes the refusal to ever work together again isn't about petty squabbles or even past betrayals. It's about protecting your peace.
No, I'm not going to put my good life and well-being and peace. I'm not going to sacrifice that for the fans. Like, that's not what I do. And anybody that calls himself a fan wouldn't ask the band to put themselves through something they don't want to do.
As Skid Row's Scotty Hill put it, no amount of money or fan pressure is worth sacrificing peace of mind. And when a relationship gets toxic, the smartest move is walking away for good. Sometimes the end comes from a fundamental shift in one person's character or values, making previous partnerships untenable.
Basically, you know what it was, is Axl took over the band and reformed it under Guns N' Roses under his direction, and I chose not to join that configuration. Simple as that.
So you formed another group, right?
I formed a bunch of other bands since then.
Ever regret leaving?
No. It was really something that it was one of those kind of things that it happened the way that it happened, and I think that was probably the smartest thing, big decision I ever made.
Slash's departure from Guns N' Roses shows how creative control can destroy partnerships. When Axl Rose restructured the band under his complete control, Slash chose artistic freedom over guaranteed success. His conviction that leaving was the smartest decision he ever made reveals how toxic the situation had become, even within one of rock's most successful bands. The American Idol feud between Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey demonstrates how professional obligations can force incompatible personalities into impossible situations.
I don't know, it was just two big old divas, I guess. I was like just sitting there, and I guess before I went in there, I heard like all of the stuff that was being said, but I didn't believe it. Like I heard them saying Mariah doesn't want you on the panel, but I was like, no, I'm friends with Mariah, and I was like arguing people down, like, don't believe everything you read, you're crazy. And so I went there, and I kind of started feeling a little bit of like the shade, and I just kind of like overcompensated by being crazier. And I don't think that didn't work. No.
Nicki Minaj's honest assessment of her conflict with Mariah Carey reveals how preconceptions and defensive reactions can create unnecessary drama. Her admission that she overcompensated by being crazier when feeling disrespected shows how quickly professional relationships can spiral out of control.
But we're fine. Like, I cannot hold a grudge against Mariah Carey. Like, what people don't understand is that I've looked up to her, like, for so many years. Like, since she came out, Vision of Love, all that, like, me and my mother would sing her songs like all day and all night. So I don't know if she's gotten over it, but I have. I mean, like, I'm over there like cracking up, laughing and having fun, and like, if she's still holding a grudge, I don't know. Like, I don't care.
Minaj's attempt at reconciliation, emphasizing her longtime admiration for Carey, contrasts sharply with Carey's apparent continued coldness toward the situation.
Are you the bitch she's singing about?
Don't know. Don't know what she's saying. I didn't know she sang. I thought she rapped or whatever.
Carey's dismissive response to Minaj's song about their feud reveals the contempt that had developed between them. Her claim not to know that Minaj sang was a deliberate insult, suggesting Minaj wasn't even worth paying attention to as an artist.
You know what? I'm not looking forward to live shows.
Why is that?
Because,
Come on, Nicki, let it out.
I cannot trust myself.
In what way?
Just like if there's a slick comment being made, like if some, you know, I just want it to go well. Like, it's about the contestants, we got a lot of great talent, and I don't want anyone on the panel to say something crazy, because then I don't want to look like a crazy psycho again. I am really not a crazy psycho, you guys. Like, seriously, please, no, I swear. No, I'm serious, like, I'm really not.
Minaj's fear of her own reactions during live shows reveals how the conflict had affected her self-control and public image. Her repeated insistence that she's not a crazy psycho suggests the feud had genuinely damaged her reputation and self-perception. The artists who declare they'll never work together again aren't just being dramatic, they're often protecting themselves from relationships that have become genuinely harmful. In some cases, time heals these wounds. The 2025 reunion announcement by Oasis proved that even the most bitter brothers can find their way back to each other after years of declaring reunions impossible. Noel had stated in 2023 that a reunion held no appeal beyond money, which he already had in abundance, while Liam revealed rejected offers including a £100 million proposal in 2021. Yet somehow they found their way back, announcing, "Oasis live 25 tours," and tweeting, "The Guns have fallen silent." But for every reunion story, there are dozens more that end with final words, final albums, and relationships that remain forever fractured. The reconciliation between Axl Rose and Slash in 2016, after nearly 2 decades of feuding, showed that some wounds can heal, leading to their massively successful Not in This Lifetime tour that grossed $584 million. However, many others remain frozen in permanent estrangement.